Thank you, Mr. President, for this opportunity. My name is Oji Kalu. I represent Abia North. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, I rise to lead the debate on a bill for an act to provide for the transition to electric vehicles and green mobility in Nigeria and for related matters. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, this bill seeks to create a comprehensive
Chief
legal
Whip, you have
and
not moved.
institutional
Move first.
framework that will guide Nigerians.
Chief Whip, Emeritus, sorry. Chief Emeritus, you've not moved the motion. Move the motion. There may not be a seconder, but you need to move the motion before you start. You move the motion.
Mr. President, I stand to move a motion to lead the debate on a bill for an act to provide for the transition of electric vehicles and green mobility in Nigeria for related matters. I so move, Mr. President.
His former colleague also.
Mr. President.
His former colleague, the two-term governor of Sokoto State.
On a bill for an act to provide for transition to electric vehicles and green mobility in Nigeria and for related matters. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, this bill seeks to create a comprehensive legal and institutional framework that will guide Nigerians' gradual transition from dependence on fossil fuel-powered vehicles to clean, energy efficient and environmental friendly electric vehicles, EVA, in line with global best practice and our national commitment under various international environmental agreements. Background and rationale. Nigeria today faces a twin challenge: environmental degradation and energy dependency. Our transport sector remains one of the largest contributors of carbon emissions, responsible for about 20 to 30% of total greenhouse gas output. With over 12 million registered vehicles in Nigeria, almost all powered by petrol or diesel, we are confronted with a pressing need to rethink on our mobility strategy. Distinguished colleagues, while advanced nations are making sufficient progress in electrifying their transport systems, with countries like Norway targeting full electric mobility by 2030, and even major African countries such as South Africa and Kenya adopting national EV policies, Nigeria risks being behind if do not act decisively. This bill therefore seeks to position Nigeria to benefit from the global shift towards green mobility and encouraging investment, innovation, and industrial growth in the electric vehicle sector. Objectives of this bill, Mr. President. The key objective of this electric vehicle transition and mobility bill are: 1, promote the gradual transition from fossil fuel-powered vehicles to electric and hybrid vehicles. Establish a National Electric Vehicle Development and Promotion Council to coordinate, regulate, and drive policy implementation across all tiers of government. Encourage all manufacturers and assemble electrical vehicles, batteries, components through fiscal incentives and public-private partnerships. Develop charging infrastructure nationwide to support electric vehicle adoption. Phase in public transportation electrification and beginning with federal, state, and local government fleets, and gradually extend to commercial transport operators. Justification, Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, this bill is not just an environmental sustainability. It is about economic transformation and energy independence. Economic opportunities. The global electric vehicle industry is projected to exceed $1.5 trillion by 2030. Nigeria, with its population and mineral resources such as lithium, nickel, stand to benefit immensely from local EV manufacturing and battery production. Job creation. The transition will open new frontiers in manufacturing of renewable energy, ICT integration, and technical education, creating thousands of jobs for Nigerian youth. Energy security. With unstable oil prices and growing subsidy burdens, Nigeria can reduce reliance on imported refined petroleum products by encouraging electric mobility powered by local generated electricity, particularly from renewable sources. Health and environmental benefits. Reduced emission means clear air, fewer respiratory illness, and improved quality of life of our citizens. In conclusion, Mr. President and dear colleagues, this bill is both visionary and timely. It aligns with the federal government drive towards industrial diversification, environmental sustainability, and innovation-led growth. By passing this bill, we will be taking a bold step towards modernizing our transport sector and positioning Nigeria as a leader in Africa's green mobility revolution. I therefore urge my colleagues and all and sundry to support this bill and to support this bill for the second reading and commit it to relevant committees for further investigation action. Thank you, Mr. President, for this opportunity.
My distinguished colleagues, my name is Muhammad Adamu Aleru, representing Kebbi Central. Mr. President, I rise to second the motion, so the bill sponsored by my very good friend and brother, Senator Oji Uzo Kalu. Mr. President, let me commend him for sponsoring this bill. It is very timely and apt because globally, the world is moving towards electric vehicles, and Nigeria should not be left behind. As stated in the lead presentation, countries like Kenya and South Africa, they are taking the lead in Africa, and we should be not left behind. Mr. President, environmentally, this bill will help Nigeria. Cities like Kano and Lagos are suffering a lot from the emission, carbon emission. And if we adopt electric vehicles, it will significantly reduce carbon emission and our environment will become very, very healthy. And another advantage is that instead of exporting lithium, which is one of the main raw materials that is used for making electric vehicles, we will be utilizing it here. We will create jobs. It will lead to employment generation. It will lead also to industrial diversification, as stated in the lead paper. So this is a very good bill, and I urge all my colleagues to support it because of its enormous use to Nigeria. Thank you.
Mr. President, I am Osita Ngu in the Senate on behalf of the great people of Enugu West. Mr. President, I want to commend my senior, Senator Oji Kalu, for bringing up this timely and very important bill. The impact of gas emission on climate change and global warming is something that we can't overemphasize. We all know how flooding has become a major issue in this country, and these are all coming out of the impact of climate change. Nigeria is a country of more than 250 million people. We are significant in the fight against climate change. Nigeria can equal more than 10 to 15 other countries in Africa in terms of the gas that we emit in our daily activities, either the generators or the vehicles we use. We have millions of vehicles in Nigeria. And if this bill is passed, Mr. President, I am going to assure you that the impact of climate change will be completely are impacted over time. Nigeria, as a country with our population, plays a major role. So I'm supporting the bill wholeheartedly, and I encourage my colleagues to all lend their voices for this bill to be passed. I thank you, Mr. President.
I represent the dynamic people of Benue Northwest Senatorial District. Mr. President, I also rise to add my voice in support of this bill, ably moved by distinguished Senator Kalu. And in doing so, I am struck by this line on his motion. Nigeria today faces a twin challenge of environmental degradation and energy dependency. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, Nigerians are never quick in adapting to new innovations. For some of us that have the privilege of driving vehicles over a long period of time, when the automatic gear system was introduced, Nigerians were very hesitant. They were used to the floor gear system. And many countries moved fast. We only came in afterwards, after it became eminent and clear that the automatic gear system was more durable, faster. Today, many countries have adopted the energy-propelled vehicles. We are still lagging behind. When we pride ourselves as a giant of Africa, and it's not reflected in our own advancement in technology and other areas, it means we are not doing enough. So this is a very, very crucial bill, and it speaks to the lot of challenges that our petrol-propelled vehicles create even to our health system. So I support in totality that this bill be passed and to move to the third stage, and then we pass it into law for the benefit of Nigerians and other sectors of the economy. Thank you very much, Mr. Senate President.
Thank you. Distinguished colleagues, a bill for an act to establish a comprehensive framework for the transition to electric vehicles in Nigeria, promote local manufacturing, ensure environmental sustainability, and drive economic growth, and for related matters 2025. Second reading taken. This bill is now committed to the Committee on Industries to report back to the Senate in 4 weeks. Let me thank distinguished Senator Kalu for thinking ahead. And of course, in addition to the transition from fossil fuel, he's also looking at creating a lot of employment opportunities and also encouraging vehicle manufacturing for those who are already in. Like, I don't know whether Innocent Motors, the boys are looking at me, and others are already looking at electric vehicles and all. So this is a very good innovation. We look forward to its implementation, and then we look forward to the committee returning this to us in due time. Thank you for all your contributions. Distinguished colleagues, maybe after 1 hour, we will have a closed session for very important discussions. And good or bad, the discussion must be heard. And it's important that all members avail themselves of the information. Leader of the Senate.